You, Season 3 was one of the best seasons so far. It was really great and did not disappoint, but it also had Joe doing some of the worst things yet. Still, fans loved it. Now we just want more. Season 3 left us with loads of burning questions that we need to answer in Season 4. Let's check out some of these questions. Warning, massive spoiler alerts for Season 3 ahead. Why is no one questioning Marienne's disappearance? Okay, so we all get why Marienne decided that she needed to take her daughter and start a new life. But when we get the recap of what happened to everyone at the end of the season, it seemed like no one's questioning why Marienne suddenly decided to leave. I get she was innocent and everything, but would it really seem like that to the police who are investigating her ex-husband's death? Joe killed him, and the news reported that he was mugged, but surely they'll still be investigating the death of a well-known personality in the area. And since Marienne had just lost her custody case against him, and many people knew they were at odds, wouldn't they suspect that he had something to do with it? Then she just takes her daughter and leaves almost right after his death and getting custody. Just doesn't make sense that no one is curious. On the other hand, there were so many insane stuff happening right at the same time that their story might just have completely disappeared from the public eye. It just all sounds too easy to me. Will Joe's family come back to haunt him? Joe has hurt many people, still it seems like it is the people from his childhood that are haunting him the most. We got to see his mom in a flashback when he confronted her for abandoning him. At the time, she had another little boy with her. Could that have been Joe's little brother? What happened to his mom and brother? Will we ever see them again? I don't think they showed us his brother without any reason. I do believe that we'll eventually get to see him again, but whether or not it'll be a happy family reunion is still up in the air. Is his mother even alive anymore? Right through the series, Joe's targeted people who are hurting kids that are vulnerable. It's a major trigger for him, and he can't seem to let it go. Could that date back to his youth? His mom hurt him a lot. Is it possible that he believed he was a danger for his brother's health and safety? Was his mother his first victim? It does feel like it could be very much in character for Joe and explain why many of the behaviors that he's shown since we got to know him in Season 1. But if that is the case, what happened to his sibling? Could he come back to get revenge on the guy who killed his mom? Might just be a deadly encounter. What happened to Ellie? In Season 2, Joe and Love effectively ruined Ellie's life, and she was still in danger since Love could easily target her. In Season 3, Joe does mention sending her money, but we don't entirely know what happened to her or where she went. And now that Joe is supposed to be dead, what will become of her now? He promised he would always take care of her, but how will he pull that off from the other side of the world? And could it blow his cover? A story like the one that he created to explain their deaths will make news everywhere, so wherever Ellie is, she will probably hear about Joe and Love's death. Could that prompt her to come forward? Since there's no one that is still trying to kill her, it's possible she could tell her story. But if she gets money from Joe, she's going to know that he's alive. Will she tell people everything she knows? Will Joe face a teen takedown team? Right through the series, Joe's impacted a lot of children and teens' lives, and most of the time, it's not for the better. I know some of them, like Ellie and Theo, weren't entirely his fault, but he had enough of a hand in things that they could still blame him. So what would happen if all these kids have been impacted right through the show get together to take Joe down? Most of them know him well enough to really set a great trap for him. I think that would be an awesome ending to his story. But then again, I'm not ready for it to end, so they could hold off on that happening for a few more seasons. What happened to Nurse Fiona? Another person that seems to haunt Joe's memories is the nurse that was nice to him as a kid in the children's home he lived in after his mom abandoned him. She was pretty clearly being abused by her partner, and Joe really wanted to do something about it. But in the flashbacks we saw, he couldn't manage to work up the courage. Did that change? Why did she leave without saying goodbye? Joe blamed her partner, but could there have been another explanation? Could she have killed him and that was why she didn't come back? Did she flee from him? Did he kill her? She did completely understand when Joe wanted to hurt the kids that were bullying him, so it's possible she decided to kill her boyfriend before he killed her. Or did Joe have anything to do with her disappearance? I need more answers on what really happened to Nurse Fiona. What do you want to happen to Joe in the the next season of You? Are there any characters that you really want to see returning? Let us know in the comments section. There's still some of the biggest questions fans want answered in season 4 coming up next. Where will we find Joe next? What about love? And so much more. Is love dead? This is not a philosophical question. I really want to know if Love Quinn is really dead. It just seemed too easy for me. Love's too sneaky to get killed that easily. Plus, in the books, the two of them are divorced. Of course, the series does differ from the books a lot, so that's no guarantee that we'll see her again. I just really enjoyed her character. I can't say I liked her since she was, a psycho killer, but I enjoy the fact that she is the only person deadlier than Joe, that he is the one that is trying to control her, but even if she is dead, that doesn't mean it will be the last time we get to see her. Joe has a habit of seeing the women he has supposedly loved and killed, and if anyone's going to haunt him, then it'll probably be the mother of his child. Could be pretty fun to watch him trying to get rid of her and not being able to do so. Love Quinn is not someone you want stuck in your head. Will Joe find Marienne? At the end of season 3, we see that Joe is in Paris. He's probably looking for Marienne and her daughter who had left town and who is his current obsession. If you recall, while they were dreaming about a future, Marienne told Joe that if she ever had the opportunity, she would take her daughter and start a new life in Paris. But then she had the conversation with Love, and Love told her that it was Joe that killed her ex-husband. So would she still move to Paris if she was scared of him? And what will happen if he does find her? Remember, she was really good friends with Dante and Lansing, who was given custody of Henry thanks to the letter that Joe wrote. If she keeps in contact with anyone from town, it will be with them. She might know that Joe is supposed to be dead, so if he suddenly appears, what is she going to do? Besides, will Joe be able to keep his focus long enough to actually find her, or will he stumble on some other unsuspecting woman who will become his next obsession? I can't wait to find out. Does everyone believe Joe's dead? Joe's quite the spectacle of his own and Love's deaths. But does everyone actually believe that he is dead? At the end of season 3, we see Matthew reading the article about what supposedly happened, and he doesn't entirely seem convinced. We know for a fact that Matthew is not the type of guy that just believes everything he's told to believe. It would have been much easier for Love and Joe if he was, but he did see Joe when Love paralyzed him, so he could buy it. It'll be interesting to see if he is in season 4. Will Joe get caught? Joe thinks he's super smart, but he makes loads of mistakes, and eventually he's bound to get caught for some crime. The only question is if that will happen in season 4. Are there any more questions you're wondering about? Share them in the comments section. Thanks for watching.